The alarm started as a soft beep, then it became louder. Then it became a screaming wail that made Senior Monitor Vexilla jump from her chair. She had been watching the sensor screens for 12 hours straight. Nothing ever happened at Sentinel-7. The monitoring station floated at the edge of explored space where the Caloran Empire's territory ended and the empty void began. For 20 years, Vexilla had sat in this chair, watching dots on screens that represented asteroids, comets, and the occasional piece of space debris. Nothing interesting, nothing dangerous, nothing unknown until now. Her six-fingered hands moved across the control panel, trying to silence the alarm. The screen in front of her showed something that should not exist. A contact, a vessel moving faster than anything she had ever seen. "Computer, run diagnostic," she said, her voice steady despite the fear creeping up her spine. The computer's calm voice responded, "All systems functioning normally. No errors detected." Vexilla's throat went dry. She ran the scan again. The contact was still there, still moving, still impossible. She checked the speed reading 3 times. The vessel was traveling at 0.97 light speed. Nothing in the known galaxy could move that fast. The Empire's fastest military ships could barely reach point for light speed, and that was with experimental engines that tended to explode. But speed was not the strangest part. The contact had no signature. Every vessel in the galaxy left traces: energy emissions from engines, heat from life support systems, electromagnetic signals from navigation equipment. Every spacefaring civilization in the Empire's database had a unique fingerprint that sensors could detect and identify. This vessel had nothing. No energy type matched the Imperial databases. No heat signature matched any known propulsion system. No signals on any frequency they monitored. It was like the ship was made of ghost matter barely existing in normal space. Vexilla opened the communication channel. Sentinel-7 to unknown vessel. You are entering Caloran Empire space. Identify yourself immediately. Silence. She tried again, broadcasting on all frequencies. Unknown vessel, this is Sentinel-7 monitoring station. Please respond and transmit your identification codes. Still nothing. Her hands trembled as she reached for the emergency communication button. She had never used it before. In 20 years there had never been an emergency worth reporting to Imperial Command. "This is Sentinel-7, she said when the channel opened. "I need to speak with someone in Fleet Command immediately." The face that appeared on her screen belonged to a young officer who looked bored. "Sentinel-7, this channel is for actual emergencies only. If you have a maintenance issue, I have detected an unknown vessel." Vexilla interrupted. "It is traveling at near light speed with no identifiable signature and is not responding to hails." The officer's bored expression changed to something like amusement. "Senior Monitor, your sensors are probably malfunctioning. Run a full diagnostic, and I already ran diagnostics twice," Vexilla said, her patience wearing thin. "All systems are functioning normally. The contact is real." The officer sighed. "Fine. Send me your sensor data and I will have someone look at it." Vexilla transmitted the data and waited. She watched the contact on her screen. That it had not changed course. It had not slowed down. It was heading directly toward the Empire's core worlds like an arrow flying toward a target. 10 minutes later her communication panel lit up again. This time, the face on the screen belonged to someone much more senior. Commander Zelk, if she remembered correctly. He did not look amused. "Sentinel-7, we need you to confirm your readings," he said. 2 other monitoring stations are now reporting the same contact." Vexilla felt her stomach drop. "2 others? Which ones?" "Sentinel-4 and Sentinel-9. The object is moving through our sensor network at incredible speed. We are tracking it on multiple stations now." "Then you believe me?" Big Zola said. "We believe something is out there," Commander Zelta replied, "but we do not know what it is. Keep monitoring and report any changes immediately." The communication ended. Vexilla turned back to her screens and began recording everything. If this was going to be a historical moment, she wanted accurate records. 3 hours later, the situation had escalated beyond anything Vexilla could have imagined. Fleet Admiral Thurn himself was now involved. His image appeared on screens across the monitoring network, addressing all stations simultaneously. Biexa had never seen the Admiral before. He was an imposing figure with silver scales covering his face and military decorations covering his uniform. He had commanded fleets in 3 wars and never lost a battle. "All monitoring stations. This is Fleet Admiral Thurn," he said. His voice was deep and confident. "We are now tracking an unidentified vessel entering our territory. This vessel has ignored all attempts at communication and shows no signs of slowing down. Immobilizing the 3rd Border Legion to intercept. All stations maintain constant surveillance and report directly to me with any changes." The transmission ended. Vexilla watched her screen and saw new contacts appearing. Imperial warships were launching from nearby military bases. Within an hour, there were dozens of military vessels converging on projected intercept points. She calculated the unknown vessel's trajectory. At its current speed and heading, it would reach the Empire's core worlds in 14 standard cycles, 14 days. For the first time in 10,000 years, something was approaching the heart of the Caloran Empire without permission, without identification, and without fear. In the Imperial Palace on Colorox Prime, Chancellor Morn sat in an emergency council meeting. Around the table sat military commanders, intelligence directors, and scientific advisors. Everyone was talking at once. It must be a probe from an undiscovered civilization, one scientist suggested. Or a weapon, a military commander countered. An attack could be imminent. We should destroy it before it gets closer, another commander said. Chancellor Morn raised one hand for silence. The room quieted immediately. What do we actually know? Morn asked. The head of Imperial Intelligence stood. Very little, Chancellor. The object is traveling at near light speed. It has no identifiable energy signature. It does not respond to communication. And most concerning, it is heading directly toward our core worlds on a perfectly straight course. What does that last part mean? Morn asked. It means the vessel knows exactly where it is going. The intelligence director said it has not made a single course correction since we first detected it. Either it has incredibly accurate navigation or it has been to this region of space before. That is impossible, Fleet Admiral Thurin said. We have catalogued every spacefaring species in this sector for the past 10,000 years. There is nothing we do not know about. Apparently, Admiral, there is something we do not know about, Morn replied quietly. The Chancellor stood and walked to a large window overlooking the capital city. Billions of beings lived on this world alone. Trillions more across the Empire's thousands of planets. They all believed the Empire was invincible. They all believed the Empire knew everything worth knowing about the galaxy. That belief was about to be tested. Admiral Theon, Morn said without turning around. Deploy your fleet, but do not fire unless fired upon. If this is first contact with a new civilization, I will not have it said that the Catherian Empire shot first. And if they are hostile, Theron asked, then defend the Empire, Morn said, but do not start a war out of fear of the unknown. Back on Sentinel-7, Vexala continued her watch. The unknown vessel maintained its impossible speed and perfect course. It was now less than 13 cycles from the core worlds. She wondered who they were, where they came from, what they wanted. Most of all, she wondered why they were not afraid of the most powerful empire in the known galaxy. The Imperial archives were cold and dusty. Ambassador Cows walked through rows of data crystals that had not been touched in centuries. Most of them contained information about first contact protocols from thousands of years ago, back when the Empire was still discovering new civilizations instead of ruling them all. Chithos had been an ambassador for 40 years. In that time he had negotiated trade agreements, settled border disputes, and welcomed 3 newly spacefaring species into the Empire's fold. But he had never conducted actual first contact with a completely unknown civilization. Nobody had, not for millennia, found something called Dr. Sillin from across the archive room. The xenoxiologist was younger than Kilos but had a reputation for finding answers in forgotten places. Kathos walked over to where Sillin stood, holding an ancient data crystal up to the light. What is it? First contact protocols from 9,000 years ago, Sillin said, back when we still met new species regularly. There are procedures here for everything. Translation, matrices, diplomatic approach patterns, gift exchange customs, even instructions for what to do if they are more advanced than us. And are they useful now? Kiltos asked. Silrin set the crystal down carefully. Maybe, but there is something else here. Something strange. She activated a holographic display. Ancient text appeared in the air, written in an old form of Caleron that was barely readable. This section is marked as forbidden knowledge, Silin said. It talks about civilizations that went beyond